An officer is killed after being thrown into a losing battle with an alien race. But he suddenly wakes up to find he is in a never-ending time loop.
I'm not a soldier.
Of course you're not. You're a weapon.
When he saves a Special Forces warrior, she understands he is the key to ending the war in Edge of Tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm here with Leah and Salim, and we are here to talk about Edge of Tomorrow, the new Tom Cruise action film. We've all just seen it. Leah, I know this was your most anticipated film of the summer, so off to you.
I have to say that Edge of Tomorrow did not disappoint. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of like earth-shaking, deep thinking, anything going on with this film, and as expected, it delivered on that.
Yeah.
We have Tom Cruise's character, who is this kind of arrogant military officer.
Advertising.
Yeah, he's like, you know, he's supposed to, you know, he's
like
PR guy. He's the PR guy.
Exactly.
He spins the war, and wow, he wakes up one day and finds out that he's been busted back to a grunt.
And it basically becomes Groundhog Day with this military action.
With aliens.
Aliens, yeah, military action. And that's what I loved about it, is that a lot of people were thinking that it was just going to be a derivative of that film, but I think it was the best possible combination of genres and styles. And what I really enjoy about it is when you realize what the film is, that it's basically about this guy repeating the day over and over again, you think that it could get stale, that they're going to be repeating the same scenes, which they do, but it's very planned out. They make sure to show you the same scenes for very specific reason, and then we veer off into other directions and other newer scenes. And I think it all works very well.
It's very easy to follow, which I was surprised by, and I thought that it might get too mind-bendy and too confusing.
Exactly.
And I thought, I mean, the story is very simple. The explanation for why this is happening, it's nonsensical, but it's very simple. You get it. You're like, okay, good. We got that out of the way. We can go back to the fun. And that's the weird thing, is I didn't think it was going to be fun.
Yeah.
I don't see Tom Cruise as like the funny guy.
Yeah.
But he's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, we were laughing and clapping, and it was a good time.
Yeah, I didn't mean to suggest that the film was devoid of any kind of deeper thought. I mean,
sure.
It is playing with things like memory and history and how we recount that. And I think that they use that to their advantage in this kind of video game aesthetic that's going on in this film, where you get to do over. Well, in the real world where we are, we don't get to reset. We don't get to, you get 3 lives and you put in some more coins and you get to play over again, right? This film kind of toys with that and what kind of circumstances would happen for you to be able to reset and kind of ask the question, do you really want to?
Exactly.
Right. There was a point where I was exhausted for him. I think like, oh, even 12 hours that he has to go over and over again. I'm like, God, 12 hours to do this whole thing again?
Right. There's this undercurrent of kind of wry humor, this kind of winking that's going on to the audience that Doug Liman seems to be able to carry throughout, kind of consistently throughout some of his films.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that Tom Cruise, he gets it. Tom Cruise demonstrates that why he's a star and why he continues to be a star, being very physically active in this role.
He was smarmy and stuff, and we've kind of seen him do that before, but when he's a grunt and they're putting him into the big contraption that he has to be in, and he's terrified, I'm like, we've never really seen Tom Cruise that scared before.
Exactly.
Right.
And it was actually really amusing to watch him play that character.
Stand by to deploy! Activate drop lines! Remember!
But what I also loved about the film, beyond Tom Cruise and how solid he was, is Emily Blunt, who played Rita. And I mean, she's
Joan of Arc is who she is.
She basically went toe-to-toe with it. I haven't seen as good of a female actress in a sci-fi movie probably since Sigourney Weaver in Alien, because she was so strong, and she had nothing that really was necessary for Tom Cruise. It's not like she was existing to better Tom Cruise specifically.
Well, she wasn't there as his eye candy or his arm decoration. She actually had a fully integrated plot. Give the girl something awesome to do, and Emily Blunt is fantastic in this film.
Yeah. This thing's in my blood. So maybe there's some way I can transfer it to you.
I've tried everything. It doesn't work.
I mean, have you, tried all the options?
Oh, you mean sex? Yeah, tried it.
How many times?
All right.
Speaking of the aliens, they were really cool.
I
and you know what about them is that
I want wanted to see more of
I
them.
did, and you know, Doug Liman, the director, he cuts his action a little too close. So
That
for
was
a
my
while,
one complaint about it.
the Bourne
but
thing,
I
yeah.
feel like because of those aliens were so all the time, it actually helped because I kept on getting kind of nervous and like ducking a lot because I was afraid those things were going to come at me.
I mean, there's a lot going on here. We've got practical effects, we've got special effects, we've got music and lighting and characters, and it's a really big film done on a very large scale. And Doug Liman does a really good job of managing all that.
Edge of Tomorrow is a wonderful sci-fi movie that's really what summer cinema is all about. Definite see it.
I'm afraid that people aren't going to go see this movie, but they should because it's actually the best action movie of the summer so far. See it.
Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, and Doug Liman combined for a fantastic summer popcorn film. Edge of Tomorrow should be seen today. See it. Cheers!
To popcorn movies.
To popcorn movies.
Sci-fi summer.